In winter 1974. A youthful Thaddeus Sivana and his more established sibling are driven home by their dad. While playing with his enchanted 8-ball, Sivana is mysteriously shipped to the Stone of Time Everlasting, where he meets a wizard, who acquainted him with the otherworldly sculptures containing the spirits of the 7 destructive sins: pride, eagerness, desire, jealousy, ravenousness, fury, and sloth. The remainder of a committee of 7, the wizard went through hundreds of years looking for another boss. Put to a test to check whether he is unadulterated of heart, Sivana endeavors to contact the Eye of Jealousy, bombing the test. Shipped back to the vehicle, he creates a situation wherein his sibling hits him and his dad to crash on ice, harmed. The enchanted 8-ball peruses track down Mida. A couple of years before present day, Billy is at a fair with his mom, who plays darts to no end to get a tiger. Subsequently, Billy loses a pendant ball he has and pursues it, isolating from his mom. Lost, he is gotten by police who gets him to an encourage home. In present-day Philadelphia, Billy bats and baits and traps cops into a pawn shop, involving their PC in order to look through the location of his tragically missing mother. Voyaging, he is frustrated. He is found and brought to a social administration's laborer who puts him with the Vasquez family and different kin: Eugene, Darla, Pedro, Mary and Freddie. In the place of business of Sivana Ventures, a lady educates a specialist regarding her experience and offers a video. Sivana takes the video to his office, where he had a venture that followed individuals who had comparable sightings around the world, and the video empowered him to track down admittance to the wizard's refuge. At the point when examined regarding it, Sivana transforms the specialist into dust. He utilizes the images to get to the refuge, defies the wizard, and contacts the energy ball by Enzi, releasing the 7 dangerous sins. They structure into an eye and sits at home and locks itself into his right eye. At school, the Encourage Kids shows Billy around the school as he changes. At lunch, Freddie sits with Billy and, in the wake of attempting to bug him for a couple of moments in endeavors to get him to realize him better. Outside, domineering jerks drive him and hit Freddie. Billy confronts the harassers and hits them with Freddie's strolling stick, and runs into the tram to stay away from them. While on the train, images show up and he enters the Stone of Endlessness. The wizard uncovers he had recently given his to another person, however had turned evil and killed various individuals and delivered the 7 lethal sins. The wizard promised to look for somebody who had an unadulterated of heart, driving him to look for centuries. He picks Billy, who needs to say the word Shazam. Billy gives the signal and changes into the hero Shazam, and the wizard vanishes. Shazam gets back to Philadelphia and gets back to the Encourage home and meets with Freddie, testing every one of the capacities: lightning, super speed, and strength. They enter a store and stop a furnished burglary. Heading home, he finds he returns to his other structure by saying Shazam. At Sivana Businesses, Dr. Sivana jumps into a corporate gathering facilitated by his sibling and father, who had lost his legs in the mishap from the night in 1974. A showdown between the kin brings about Sivana tossing his sibling through of the window and flaunting the wrongdoings in his eyes, butchering everybody in the room, including his dad. Freddie posts recordings of Shazam's powers circulating around the web. Freddie and Billy are in school and play hooky when Billy acts like Shazam to look at them. Leaving, they find time for test fire and vulnerability, flight, and strength. Blissful, they stroll through a shopping center where they utilize the lightning skill to charge individuals' PDAs. Get soft drinks for nothing, endeavor to buy a refuge from a realtor, and going to a strip club. He emerges and says, "We want more cash." They go to an ATM, destroying it and taking a portion of the cash, utilizing it to buy stock. Following day at school, the domineering jerks start to meddle with Freddie and Billy again until Freddie lets them know he knows the new legend Red Typhoon. They don't trust him, however, he commitments and lets them know that he'll inspire him to make an appearance to lunch tomorrow. Freddie and Billy get into somewhat of a contention over him simply accepting and attempting to involve Billy for his powers. That evening at supper, the dad asks the family their thought process of the new legend. Everybody gives input and Freddy attacks Shazam, and afterward him and Billy get into a cycle of contention, leaving the remainder of the family confounded. At school the following day, Billy chooses not to go to class since he needs to track down his mom, regardless of Freddy requesting lunch. Shazam does different things, taking selfies and flaunting lightning for cash. He sees and saves Mary from being hit by a vehicle, and conversing with her causes him to acknowledge she is vexed that, in light of school, she should leave her loved ones. Shazam coincidentally uncovers he knew her name and lodging circumstance, yet leaves. Freddy tracks down Shazam and attempts to converse with him, yet Shazam attempts to defuse it, shooting lightning that raises a ruckus around town of a transport across the city, sending it off the side of the scaffold. Getting it, Shazam puts it on the substantial, just to be immediately informed he's not utilizing his powers right. Hearing the disturbance, Dr. Sivana appears and requests the powers that Shazam has. Getting over him, Shazam is quickly tossed around and lands through a shopping center, while finding his capacity to fly. Sivana chases him down, yet Shazam changes once more into Billy and runs. Freddy is there and is kidnapped by Sivana, who requests to be taken to Billy. Billy appears, and they know with Eugene letting him know where his mom is, she is just 2 metro stops away. Billy surges out of his home, with his non-permanent parents close behind. Back at the house, Sivana appears with Freddy and traps the youngsters. Billy shows up at his mom's apartment building. His mom illuminates Billy he was purposefully deserted on that day, and saw him with the police and that he would be better focused on by others since she was 17. Controlling his feelings even with the deplorable reality that his difficult years-long quest for his mom was for no good reason, Billy unobtrusively consoles his mom that he is fine, yet he needs to get back to his genuine family. Nonetheless, Billy gives his mom the keychain compass she gave him quite a while back with a remark blended in with lament, hatred, and understanding about her, "You could require it more than me." Leaving, he gets a call and Sivana advises him to return home. Billy leaps off the high rise and changes to Shazam and flies home. Shazam chooses to provide up the ability to save his family, and Sivana opens an otherworldly way to the Stone of Endlessness. Taking the wizard's staff, Sivana releases the 7 lethal sins. The kin enter the cavern and divert Sivana long enough for them to run and exit into a colder time of year festival. Sivana and the wrongdoings assault the festival, taking shots at a Ferris wheel. Nearly spilling. Sivana and Shazam battle, generally around the festival. Snagging the wizard's stick, Shazam and his family shout his name and communicates his capacity to his family, changing them into the Shazam family, each a grown-up superhuman. Each battling one sin, Shazam draws in with Sivana while flying through high rises. As it goes to spill, Freddy flies in and saves the keep-going 2 individuals on it, the harassers. Shazam and Sivana end up on a housetop and Shazam urges the one lethal sin who remained jealousy. It tears itself out from Sivana's eye and Shazam hollers, "Shazam," harming it. Sivana is knocked off the rooftop, presently mortal. Shazam snatches Sivana and hauls him to the amusement park, tearing the mystical eye out. Making all the difference, the Shazam family lounges in the cheers of the group, returns the eye to the den, and return the wrongdoings for keeping. Shazam and Freddy conclude this is their sanctuary. Back at the Encourage home, everybody got back to their unique structure and are watching a newscast of the fair example, with Saint Nick Claus portraying the occasion. The temporary family all discussion and giggle, and Billy at last feels cheerful and safe tolerating a family. At school, Freddy takes a seat at lunch and the whole table leaves so the entirety of his kin come and sit close to him. The domineering jerks appear and inquire as to whether he's still companions with Red Twister. Shazam appears and lets the school know how Freddy showed him all that it means to be a legend and that he likewise brought another companion, Superman. In the mid-credits scene, Sivana in a jail cell doodling the images all around the wall in a pointless work to return the entryway until he's intruded on by the outsider caterpillar, Mr. Psyche, who tells him of the mainstays of Underhanded that will meet up. In the post-credits scene, Shazam attempts to converse with Fish, a law Aquaman.